Welcome into the Run the Wave Show. I'm going to be your host, Clay, here today, and we have a remote call from the one and only, the great Tony Tone. What's up, Tony? Tony, you need to turn your phone sideways. Turn your phone sideways. There you go. Hey, there's that beautiful face.
Oh, yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, and then we got Adam. He's here, but he wore camouflage today. Adam, how you doing? Thought so. All right. So, Tony, as Adam was kind of just alluding to and what we wanted to kick off the show about, man, was Saturday amazing. First off, we raised $3,500. There we go. Yeah. For the Addison Edgington and her road to recovery. It was an awesome night. Man, first off, the first thing I want to talk about that was Peach Jam. Dude, blew us out of the water.
I kept telling them, and I wasn't even trying to josh them, but I was trying to say you guys jammed so hard in there. I was like, I just can't believe, and they were like, "What? We don't suck?"
Yeah,
you guys were good, but you guys are good.
Yeah, that's why I was like. I went up to him. I was like, "Man, you guys did not deserve to be the opening act at all whatsoever. Yeah. That was on our fault." But then Garage Fire, man. We figured out why their name's Garage Fire because they bring the freaking heat for sure.
They really did, dude. Honestly speaking, I was so freaking blown away at everybody there. I just felt like it was also a mix. Not everybody was the same. That's what made it great. The guitar during Garage Fire, and obviously one of my favorite bassists in the entire area. I mean, great music.
And then after that, Lloyd Pritchard came in, gave us some nice solo acts. Here's some pictures of us at the benefit concert if you weren't able to there. But Garage Fire, that's them right there. They have another show coming up here, I think end of March, I want to say. I'll have to double check that by end of the show. But they were amazing. We had Lori Pritchard come up, who was fun. And then we had the Basement Collective come in. Tony, they brought the house down, man. I mean, Mr. Davidson there on the guitar. And we got to talk with him. They have an album in the works coming up here.
Dude, I'm super pumped about it. Just because, me being a weirdo and just being into so many different genres of music and time periods with the way my parents were with music, their set list was so amazing. I just literally kept, talking to somebody or engaging with people and then turning around and being like, this is fun.
Now, Tony, here's your spirit animal, Mr. Big Steve for Stateside Red. Dude, he plays... looks, he's just like Jerry Garcia, man. I mean, the way he makes his guitar sound, he came up and looked at me and goes, "Man, I look like Jerry Garcia." I'm like, "I'm glad you said it instead of me." But, man, dude, ladies and gentlemen, Zach Moore, the drummer from Stateside Red, at the end of the show, his hands were bleeding from how mad he was beating those drums, man. It was insane. They were electric, man.
Yeah.
It was fire. And then we had Moose Miller come in and close it down. We also want to give huge shout out Mike Throne. He came in and donated the last $1,500 that we needed. But Moose Miller, he went acoustic. While he had his band there, we got to see Coach Tomlinson of Eastern out there. And then Bill Callahan, he got his book. Man, Tony, he was ready for that book. He said, I'm not leaving here without that book.
Good call. I don't want to spoil everything. I don't know who listens to this show, but I don't want to say where it might be going, but he is going to a really, really good place, and he's super pumped that he got it. I just don't want to ruin a surprise because it's a surprise for somebody. So.
Yeah. But, man, Moose Miller, hey, left the set list, so we got it. We got the set list, and we're going to have it displayed whenever I don't get off 20 minutes before work to set up. And then one cool thing we're going to get framed, we got one of our T-shirts here signed by every single band and every single member of that band. If you weren't able to get there and get a shirt, we're still selling these. You get a hold of us on Facebook, Instagram. We'll also have a link up on our website. It has every single band that played at the benefit concert. So, again, only $15, but for this week, and this week only, we'll be selling them for $10. So you can get them a little bit cheaper. And again, you can just message us, let us know your size. We'll mail it to you. Or You can get on our website here in a couple days. We'll have a link for you. But, Tony, these shirts were absolute fire. Fire, dude. One of the best shirts I've ever seen.
Too, because it looks like a nice, ticket to a concert, but when you really look at it, Section A, Seat E, Addison, Edgington, just a lot of little nuggets in there that make it a good shirt.
And that's what I liked about it, man. All those Easter eggs. But again, thank you again, Creekside Occasions, for letting us host the event there. It was a lot of fun, But time to get into some sports, Tony. And I want to kick it off here with it's March, man. It's tournament time. Big East is kicking off this week. We got the ACC, the Big 10, the Big 12. We already have one winner. Indiana State got upset by Drake in the Arch Madness, Tony. They've been talking about this kid from Indiana State, calling him the Cream Abdul-Jabbar. Have you seen him?
Dude, I love it. It's just smooth. To be honest with you, I feel like Jokic is already doing a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, I feel like because he's not European, he's like a unicorn.
Now, the reason I like Drake winning that, though, I wanted Indiana State to win, don't get me wrong. But I think now that conference has a chance to have two teams in the tournament. Because I think Indiana State still makes it. They had a good resume. They're actually ranked earlier this year. I know losing that game definitely hurts their case, but I still think they can slide in as like a 15 or a 16 seed, not winning their tournament.
Yeah, I mean, throw them in the playing game, that 16AB.
Yeah, let them see what they do, which again is in Dayton, which is the Final Four will be at. But I'm interested to see, man, Xavier. Obviously, we are complete bias for them, but Xavier, they open up with Butler, man. That's gonna be a hard one to open up with, just because Butler has been pretty good down the stretch here. So and Xavier's been kind of going the other way. Yeah,
I like the thing with Xavier. Even though we're homers, I still feel like they could beat any team on any night, and that's just the truth. I'm not saying they'll win every game and they'll win a national championship, but I still, again, I just feel like I wouldn't want to see him.
Well, I mean, Desmond Claude, he just won Most Improved Player of the League for the Big East. You know what I mean? So he could be going in there with a different kind of fire. And then,
dude, and shout their social media program, Xavier. Like social media is fire. They're like so good at putting out just like absolute
instantly with killer graphics.
Nice play. It's like out in cartoon cool version in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then but my thing is, dude, if they win one game, right? I feel like that's all you need to get a little bit of momentum. I mean, it's a little different, but when you look at the Kemba Walker UConn. They weren't the number one seed in the Big East tournament. They were actually the lower seed in every single game they played. And they let that Big East run go into a national championship. Now, am I sitting here saying Xavier's going to win a national championship? No. But what I'm saying is if they win against Butler, and then let me see, because I got right here, I think they would play the number one seed after that. Or maybe like the number 2 or 3. If you already have confidence, I'm the believer that I would rather be the team that played instead of the team that had a bye, because you're still in a groove to where the bye you can kind of get a little cocky because you know you're the bigger seed. You might not be as fresh actually because you didn't play the day before, but you have, on the other hand, you played the day before, so you're a little bit tired.
If that team doesn't have a higher than 7-foot center, Xavier can beat anybody.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, it's just been their kryptonite. Is that just big man?
See,
but I literally feel like they can beat anybody else.
Well, so if they win, they play UConn, right? Then, if they win against that, they play the winner against St. John and Seton Hall. My thing is, they got blown out at UConn, which understandable. UConn's a tough place to play, number one team in the country. But you can look at it two ways. Some coaches, I feel like, don't value the tournament. They're like, hey, we're getting in. I would rather maybe lose this one game and get the extra rest before the NCAA tournament than put my guys through hell to win this, turn around 2 weeks, and then try and go win another one. So you never know, because
if I was like a 1 seed,
Yeah.
If you're playing like a super crappy team, then yes. But if you're like borderline and you're going to be being like an 8-9 or something like that, I'd rather play.
See, but what I'm saying is Xavier is that team to where UConn has a 1 seed locked up. So if they beat Butler and they go face UConn, because they played them close at Xavier, so I feel like at a neutral site with UConn, maybe not caring as much as they should, then they have a chance.
Can you see that bunny?
No, zoom in on it.
Okay, I'm trying. I don't know how to work it. It won't let me turn my camera. Sorry. It's this massive bunny. He's 5 feet. Okay, sorry, go on.
Is there a turtle? Are you in the middle of watching the tortoise and the hare?
Apparently, he's stopping to take a snack, so
Tony died.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Tony died. Oh, there, Tony's back.
Okay.
Tony's alive.
I'm back. Okay.
But yeah, what I'm saying, man, is watch out for Xavier. Because if they beat... Honestly, I really think the winner of the Xavier Butler game could... it's hard to say that they beat UConn, but I think they at least make it a game.
It's hard to talk in that conference because like every single team is annoying. That's why like if they can sneak in and win this Big East thing, get themselves a decent seed in the tournament, like I just feel like it would be insane because like that conference just beats. You'd even talk about a St. John's. They're annoying as crap. Like,
it's back to being the Big East.
Yeah,
like
really
the Big East that we kind of grew up watching. Obviously, it's not all the same teams, but the playing style, like you said, the parity, the 1 seed. Who cares? If you're the 1 seed, because Butler and Xavier, like you said, I don't want to see them right now because they've been playing really good ball and they're playing to get in. UConn is in, and they've won the Big East. Do they care?
Exactly.
Do they care about the Big East? Because that's one thing I want to ask Dante is, when you're going in, it's a hard question to ask because they're going to give the robotic answers. Yeah, I know you want to win everything. You want to win every game. But do you really give a shit? Like, and that's a genuine question because if you don't...
All right, let's reword the question to this. Would you be mad if your players didn't give 100% effort in a game and you end up losing? You know what I mean? Like, would you be mad? Would you be on and be like, how dare you lose it? Or would you just be like, man, okay, now we rest and get to the tournament? What would your thought be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of being like, you want to win or lose?
Because, selfishly as a coach, I would probably not come out and say it, but I'd be like, yeah, if they just need a little bit break because they're like, hey, we're going after this national title, who cares about the Big East? Then that's one thing. But I think, me personally as a player, I want if there was a trophy, I wanted to go win the thing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to say that, but I can totally see the flip side of that. Now, going into the ACC, Duke gets swept by North Carolina this year. I don't think North Carolina wins the ACC tournament. I don't know who, but I don't think they win. I don't think it's going to be Duke. I think it's going to be one of these outside looking in teams. Look for Virginia maybe to make a run because I think they need some quad wins to get in.
Style team every year, disciplined role players. Virginia's always annoying too. They belong in the Big East.
They do. They really do. I feel like they belong more in the Big East than they do in the ACC for sure. But my thing is, man, they're like the Iowa of college basketball. Their defense is amazing. They just can't put the ball in the hole like ever. Virginia Tech.
And actually, when you think about it, you think ACC, if they're a little softer and not gritty, you could prove it by saying the only 2 number 1 seed overalls to lose to a 16 seed were both from.
Now watch out for Pitt. Because they're number 4. I haven't watched them a whole lot, but I don't know. Maybe North Carolina wins it, but I'm a firm believer that in the ACC tournament, I feel like historically it's not the you win the regular season championship. You don't normally win the ACC championship. I would really like to see a Duke North Carolina rematch because I love watching Duke lose to North Carolina. So that would be awesome for me. That's what I'd be hoping for. You got any sleeper teams out of ACC, or do you think it's called chalk?
I don't know. I mean, let's go Florida State.
Florida State? Man, yeah. I've seen them play a few games this year, and they're close, but they never pull them out.
They don't, and they just have pure athletes, though. Like, I feel like they could run people out of the gym, so it's like, I don't know. I'll sneak them in there as a super sleeper.
And then so after that, let's go. Let's go SEC. You got Tennessee coming in as their 1 seed. They're just coming off a fresh loss. Auburn's the 4 seed. Kentucky's the 2. Alabama the 3. I think Florida, they coming in at the 6 seed for this. I think that they go to at least to the semifinals. So they'll play the winner of Missouri versus Georgia. I think that's almost a lock. And then they play Alabama. They've beat them once this year. Alabama is super, super streaky. I think Florida is a team that's playing the maybe not get in the tournament. I think they could get in without winning their conference. But I think they need to win some games in their conference to get a better seed. Because I feel like if they get it now, they're maybe like a 10 or 11. But if they could get to at least the semifinal, I could see them moving up to maybe like a 5 or 6. Maybe.
Yeah. I think some of these teams that from the SEC, there was a decent amount of them that made it to the tournament last year. I think what we got to look for the sleeper ones would be like an Alabama who has dudes that played in the tournament last year. Maybe their stars left, but it's I feel like they would be like a decent. Not that they're too much of a sleeper, but I feel like they're going to be a team that's ready to play in the SEC tournament and potentially deep into.
I don't know if damn Caprice. What flavor? What flavor?
Dude, strawberry kiwi.
Oh, goated. Hey, do you remember getting those in the Lunchables? It was always strawberry kiwi. It was literally 10 out of 10 times. Now, hold on. Sidetrack. Favorite Lunchable. It's hard for me to not pick the nachos, and I never use the salsa. Never. I have, to this day, never touched the salsa in the Lunchables. Just the cheese.
So I can't say that I don't touch it. I never ate it as a kid, but I felt like I would get sometimes a little mischievous and stick it in the salsa first and then the cheese when I started
dipped
to
into the dark
stuff.
side.
But I never messed with it either. It just never made any sense to me.
No, I mean
I have to go with the nachos. I mean, you're just kind of I don't know what it was, if it was the extra salt on the chips, but.
Did you ever get the? I just eat W. Now, did you ever get the turkey? Were you a turkey or a ham when it came to the crackers?
I felt like my mom bought ham, but I liked turkey.
I was all ham all day. That ham.
I felt like she only bought it, but I felt like I always liked turkey sandwiches.
Now I was
never picky like that.
When I was a kid, I ate it so weirdly. I either ate it as just the meat and then just the crackers. Or I made it like a Big Mac. I used all the crackers and all the meat at one time and ate all of it. So,
if you didn't try it once, you weren't living as a kid and you didn't have the guts that I did. You have to do the mega sandwich. And then 2, here's the kind of a thing. What do you think of the pizza Lunchables?
I didn't think they were that great.
Me neither.
Because they're cold.
People are so all over.
The thing is, the sauce is cold.
The sauce is cold, and the thing is, cheese tastes differently when it's melted too.
Yeah.
I like the melted cheese on pizza, bread.
And I don't think the bread that they give you is good either. I feel like they give you a Lunchable and you're supposed to put that in the microwave or something.
Dude, I've tried it. So literally, when my son didn't finish one of his, I literally made one of the pizzas and nuked it. I'll tell you this: it is considerably better. Still, I'd rather have a freezer burnt pizza roll.
Now, there's one time when I was a kid, I feel like I ate one and it was just I was at church camp or something, starving to death, and I ate it and I was like, that's pretty good. So then I was
it's like a Nutri-Grain bar though. You build this pizza, you take one bite. It's like a Nutri-Grain bar. It's you take one bite out of the thing and it just falls all over the cheese. It never stayed together.
But that's when I realized if I have to be starving to death for this to be okay, this is not good. This is not good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Big Ten real quick after that Lunchable sidetrack. Do you think Purdue wins?
It's important to talk because, to be honest, the pizza Lunchable is very overrated.
It is so overrated. I feel like people just like it because it's pizza, but it's not. I don't even consider it pizza. I don't know what I would consider it. I would consider it sauce.
Bread and red sauce. That sounds like a pre-pasta snack. Bread and red sauce. That ain't pizza.
That feels like, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather eat my Navy food. One time they served me chicken when I was in the Navy, I will die on the hill. It was not chicken. And one time, I swear on Christ, they gave me dog food. I don't care what anyone says. They put dog food in a fucking pot, warmed it up, and threw it on top of some rice and said it was some gourmet dish. I said, that's heated up dog food. I don't care. It was.
They never cooked the water out of our powdered eggs at military school. And it was soup. It was literally powdered egg soup. And they put like way too much. And when you put it on the plate, like it was like a wet tissue sitting on a bowl of water. So I couldn't eat eggs for like 5 years after that.
Dude, and like my thing was like in boot camp, I got swindled. I was like, hey, well, this food's actually pretty good. They're like, how was the food? And I was like, that was some of the best meals I ever ate in boot camp. They're actually healthy for me. We talked about, dude, you know you've been a part of the military if you are mixing cereals to get through a meal. We talked about that on Saturday.
Yeah.
But once I got like on my ship, I was like, oh man, this ain't boot camp. This is not good, dude. And I remember we got like a shipment in one time, and so they were like put it on a zip line and they throw it across. I'll never forget watching them throw that thing across and it breaks off and just falls into the ocean. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I bet that was wings or some kind of like amazing food. You know what I mean? Like
it's gonna be better than the leftovers that they're putting into the pot again.
Yeah.
I just realized they lost 2 weeks ration.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I got swindled. I got swindled in that boot camp food because it was not the same when I got out there. But no, so hey, I get to the Big Ten. Here you go, Gary. Getting in there for you. Final Four 2001 Maryland Terrapins. Winning it all. Gary Williams. I don't think you're winning it all this year, though, Maryland. I'm sorry. I think you're going to get ounced by Rutgers. First game. Michigan State. Indiana, man. They had a good game against Michigan State yesterday. They get the 6th seed, so they'll play Michigan or Penn State. If they win that, they play Nebraska. Nebraska's the 3? Why is Nebraska? Have you been paying attention to Nebraska?
Not at all.
Huh. I say Illinois. Wins the Big Ten just because they have to. They have to win it to get any kind of seed that they want respectably. What about you?
Honestly speaking, I feel like that's the conference I know the least about, but I'd still say, I would agree, but
I just don't Purdue. I don't trust Purdue in any kind of tournament fashion. Like, don't put them in your Sweet 16. Probably don't even put them in
All
your.
right, don't hurt me anymore, please. I'm being robbed.
Oh no!
I just got jumped from my juice box.
The Capri Sun Panda is on the loose.
Oh my God!
$500 warrant out on his head.
He literally said, "Yeah, you've been stuck, bud."
Yeah, you've been stuck, bud.
But no, I completely agree, especially because the Zach Edey, like, tournament ball, it's play, it's multiple people being able to be trustworthy. I'm not saying Purdue doesn't have all that, but like Zach Edey, you're just stale crackers. Like,
yeah. I feel like college basketball's figured him out. Like, I'm not saying they've stopped him, like, but they figured out how to play against Purdue with Zach Edey. You know. Now let's go.
I also say with Purdue though, like, I feel like there has to be a sense of like grit, and there's nothing against Zach Edey. I'm not saying he's soft, but I think like when you lack that little bit of grit, I don't know. Like it just shows more during tournament time, and it might be a complete bias because I do kind of think he's soft, but I don't know. I don't get it with them.
Yeah, I think he's soft. I'll say it for it because, dude, like whenever it's one thing to be a big man against people that you're like truly a bigger man than, but whenever you see somebody that can really match up with him, he can't do a lot. So is that size? I don't know. All right, let's go into the Big 12.
Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Potty break for the little guy.
All right. So I think with the Big 12, Houston is going to assert their dominance just because they're, the number one seed. They're probably a Final Four team. And it's kind of nice to see them because so many people have been saying for years that Houston's only good because they aren't in a big conference. They can't win against the big schools, even though they consistently went. They consistently went to the Final Four, where you're playing big name schools every single year. Going to the Big 12, I hope they win the whole tournament first year to say to everybody in the Big 12. I think that they go back to the Final Four. I'm not stamping the winner yet. I have to see the bracket, but I think that they are definitely a Final Four threat because I don't think they're satisfied.
I'm obsessed with Houston.
Huh?
I'm obsessed with Houston.
Yeah. Okay.
And the whole
Did you
thing
hear what we were talking about?
Successful. Yeah, he was. I just said it outside the bat. But I feel like, one, I don't care what they say about like not playing in the correct conference, because in basketball, one, it's a little bit different. I think because like there's a lot more athletes, and that's what he gets is problem child athletes that major universities don't want. And he's pretty much last chance you down there with some of these guys.
Yeah.
Being like, if you go through one more college scholarship, you're not getting another one. And so these dudes are that's what tends to cost them in the end is like those kids' attitudes. It'll be a dumb foul. It'll be something, and that's been 2 years in a row. And it's like, so shut up about a conference. The dude gets athletes and develops men.
My thing is exactly what you said. Where at the end they kind of throw it away. That's why I think they're going to get to the Final Four. They're going to get to the Final Four. I don't know if they win in the Final Four. I don't even know if they get to the national championship game. I also don't even know who the hell's in the tournament, so I'm talking a little prematurely. But I think Houston's hungry for a Final Four. I just don't know if they'll be able to, like you said, finish it out. But another team, man, to look for in the Big 12 tournament, though, is BYU. They coming in at a 4 seed, and I think that they're like Houston. We're like, man, everybody's been talking Houston. Like, we're here. We're loud. This is our first year here, too. We're the 4 seed. So I think the Big 12 might be the best.
Baylor gets to roll in there with a championship in their back pocket there. So
Iowa State, they've been kind of streaky here towards the end, but they got red hot there in the middle of the season. You still have Texas in there. Texas Tech has been playing upset alert all season. So I think from top to bottom, you have to say that the Big 12 is the best basketball conference in the country this year.
Yeah. Like, if it's like you're looking top to bottom, just best teams. But I think if you took, like, each team and matched it up against the other one, you bring that freaking Big East over here, we're taking some out.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm with you on that one.
You know what I mean? Like, top to bottom, they probably have more skill. That conference might have more teams that makes it further. If that makes any sense. But I think our bottom barrel teams are grittier than their bottom barrel teams. And you know what I mean? And I think our mid-packers would do well. But I think the best of the best.
I just think
their best.
The biggest problem, man, I guess I'm shooting a shot. I think our biggest problem would be DePaul. like the Big 12 does not have a DePaul, dude. Like, and here's my thing: how has DePaul stayed in the Big East, stayed in Division I? I can't think of the last time.
Distinguished alumni.
I can't think of the last time they were in the tournament. Andy, can you look that up? When the last time DePaul was in the tournament? Because, like, I just don't get it. Like, have you ever heard of DePaul being good? I guess we're straight up hating on DePaul right now. But, like... Yeah,
I wonder, it's probably harder to kick them out than any... If they're paying their dues, you know? It's probably, like, if they pay their dues and that check cashes every year, they're just like, I don't know. Come, bud.
I don't even... Hey, man, look, I gave you money. You better let me in here because I need that basketball money coming back. Like,
if you only get 2 wins next year in conference, don't come back mentioning me.
2 wins in conference. They got 2 wins all year. That's what I'm saying. 2 wins in conference. That I don't know. Sorry, DePaul. I guess you didn't really deserve that.
Against Big 12 teams. I totally made that up.
Yeah, dude. That's what, dude. One thing about college basketball, I know that we're kind of late in the season for this. The conference versus conference is the greatest idea of all time. When they do the conference battles, like I wish football did that. Can you imagine if like one Saturday you had every single SEC school playing every single Big Ten school? Like one, like that would be insane. Talk about viewership and money.
It wouldn't even be that difficult either because you just sign a contract with both leagues, tell them it's going to be this date and it's going to be off your record last year. Period.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be like, well, I don't know where I'm going to go or plan. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. You'll know a year in it.
And I feel like with the 12-team playoff, like teams can't say, well, we can't afford to lose that game. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can if you think you're good enough.
12 teams is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, I don't think people realize they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And that's fine. I want the 12. But I'm thinking more of like, I remember when they first allowed the 12 teams, they said these are the teams that would have made it this year. And it was like,
why are we not doing this?
Against them. I would have loved to freaking see it. Like, but it was like it was something crazy, you know? Like,
and let me speak as a Notre Dame fan. I am 1,000% on board with if we would go undefeated, be ranked number 1, we'd be the 5 seed because we're not in a conference. I feel like I might be one of the only Notre Dame fans that's with the put us in a conference because I feel like it would help us more than anything because I feel like what Notre Dame lacks right now is that the years that we were good, we were rolling into the playoffs just like, okay, we played one last game, but like if we were able to play in a championship game before that, have championship experience before that, it would be a different story. You know what I mean? And I feel like it kind of helps your ego a little bit more. I feel like that's what we were missing in all those years.
I mean, I completely agree with all that. And I also like just kind of add in that when like being a non-Notre Dame fan, we all hate you for it. Like, why do you want everybody to hate you? It's like everybody's like, stop being a douche and just get in a freaking conference and shut up. Like, it's not a big deal.
But like, what? Before the NBC deal with the Big Ten, I still 100% got it. I was like, you're getting so much more money. You're guaranteed to be on national, like, you're never going to be on the Big Ten network. Because if you're not on NBC, that's because you're playing an away game and it's on ESPN or, like, Fox or something like that. So you're still on national television. As soon as NBC signed with the Big Ten, I immediately was like, well, Notre Dame has to join them. Because you still have that NBC money. You still have, if you're not playing on NBC, because I still think Notre Dame is big enough name-wise. Not we've won so much we should get it. Name, brand-wise.
It's still a great program.
That if we join the Big Ten, we could still look and say all of our home games are on NBC. And they could still, with Peacock and NBC being two different things, that can always happen. Because you could have one on Big Ten and you could have one on Peacock. That way, because they're not the same thing. I know a lot of people think, hey, whatever's on Peacock is on Channel 4 NBC. It is not. It's completely different. You can even on Peacock have the game that's on Peacock and the game that's on NBC. Probably side by side here in a while. So I feel like it's dumb, and I've named it before. Michigan State, one of our huge rivals. Purdue, one of our biggest rivals. I feel like Ohio State is sitting right there to be one of our bigger rivals. Michigan.
Well, you have to at least go. They're both super historic, and within the last 10 years, dude. Growing up, Notre Dame and Ohio State played in the Fiesta Bowl like fucking 7
3
times.
years. Yeah,
Twice.
And then Michigan and Ohio State. I feel like, Notre Dame and Michigan. I feel like if you ask a Michigan fan, probably number 2. Maybe some Michigan fans would put Michigan State at number 2, which I would respect. But like Notre Dame and Michigan were two powerhouse teams for years that played each other. So there's all of the rivalries that we care about back. USC, obviously we're going to have that still in there. Stanford, we'll definitely still have in there. All the other ones I don't really care about. Huh?
USC.
Yeah, USC and Stanford's in the Big Ten. So literally all of the.
No, Stanford's not.
Stanford. Where'd Stanford go? Stanford go ACC. Yeah. But still, USC being in there.
USC, another giant one for you guys.
Put a bow on it. Why are we not in there? Huh? Yeah, screw Miami. I hate them. I don't even want to be in the same conference as them. I want to beat them outside of conference. If they come in the conference, I guess they just know they're never going undefeated again. Ain't that right, Ben Harsop?
Yeah, boy.
All right, yeah, I really don't know how we got to college football there, but that was good talk. I think we had a good discussion there. All right. This show is awesome.
Oh, it was 1v1 in conferences. I kind of like that, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that is how we go there. If we did
After thinking about it more. But go on.
Let's get to some local news. I have a note here that says wrestling. That is all. That is the note. It just says wrestling. So I have to imagine that it's talking about Caden Smith from Chillicothe. He made it up to state. I saw him kicking some ass.
Well, McKenna. Crap,
Hold on.
I'm going to blank on her last name. McKenna, she just won. It was a female. She just won states for the third time in a row.
It was. KT sent me a picture. They drew.
Yeah,
it was McKenna Kraft. Won her third state championship in wrestling. Congratulations. Absolute dog. We want to get these guys on the show, but when people are out there being pro athletes, I mean, because these kids nowadays, let's talk about that real quick, Tony. When me and you were in high school, which again, I feel like obviously it wasn't that long ago. For me, it was only 10 years. It's not like we're talking like 20, 30 years ago. But I feel like when we were in high school, man, it was like, okay, it's football season, I'm going to play football. Basketball season, I'm going to play basketball. Baseball season, I'm going to play baseball. And I'm not really training outside of practice. And I'm not saying I didn't go like play football, basketball, or baseball outside practice. I did that. But I wasn't like watching what I'm eating. I wasn't going and doing specific workouts and stuff like that. Nowadays, I feel like in high school, I mean, you got like people like going to AP prep. You have people that have their own trainers in high school, their own personal trainers in high school. What are your thoughts on it, especially going for therapy? Because I feel like, and Coach Shu said it best. He said, someone asked him, they're like, hey, we got a new trainer here. How do you feel about it? And she was like, well, we didn't have as many injuries before we had a trainer. So, you know what I mean? I feel like whenever the more you think about that kind of stuff, the more likely it's going to happen. But that's just my hippie voodoo mind kind of thinking out loud there. What about you?
I mean, to be 100% honest with you, I think a couple things. One, like the human body has not evolved in the last 50 years. You know what I mean? So why is there more and less soft tissue injuries now and then? And if you think of your body as as bones connected with rubber bands, and each muscle is a different rubber band, when you get strength, it tightens those rubber bands. And the more you tighten them, the more likely they are to pop. To get speed, to get jump, to get anything, you have to tighten your muscles and strengthen your muscles so tight that if you have traumatic events like in an NFL where they just come hit you with their helmet, if you plant so hard down into the ground, they're putting over 120 pounds of pressure through their foot to pivot just in a route. And you have your muscles, those rubber bands so taut, they're just snapped. Yeah. So I feel like, if you're going to do these types of things, you have to be people like LeBron James, Alvin Kamara. Like a lot of the workouts that I see with them, I really like because they'll do things like Kamara will put a pole over his back. He'll hang kettlebells from each side of it, and then he'll have it shaking and then walk. And what he's doing is it's not that it's a ton of weight. It's just it's swinging and it's forcing him to keep his core set, keep his, you know what I mean? And keep his body in a nice close chain. And it's I feel like the problem and the reason we see a lot of injuries is you get a lot of strength trainers that don't know what they're doing or don't have enough. They just want to see the kid get bigger and stronger, but don't understand that athletics is not just being big and strong.
Yeah, because I feel like if you talk to any good coach, let me emphasis on the good coach. If you talk to any good coach, they are going to emphasize on your technique more than they're going to emphasize on more likely than being bigger, faster, stronger. Like obviously you need to be bigger, faster, stronger, right? Like you said, but like you said, if you're bigger, faster, stronger, but your technique is absolute shit, it does not matter. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're a baseball player and you go up there and you're jacked, but your back foot is flying and your hips are all over the place and your technique's terrible and you can't even hit the ball, then you're not even. It doesn't matter how
strength and conditioning is never going to fix bad coaching.
Yeah.
Because like that's what comes first. And I feel like strength and conditioning is very important. If you want to have your own trainer, I saw it work for a lot of kids at my high school because it being a boarding school, we really did have some kids, that went to major universities. But that being said, it was good because I felt like they were good trainers. I think there's just good and bad everything. And I'm not saying in this area there's a ton of bad or ton of good or anything. But I think you also have to know what type of body you have, what kind of diet you have. I think all of that stuff is super, super important. When you're thinking about what exercises you're doing. It's like, dude, if you got a lankier kid, you got to be careful with squats and stuff like that because you're really going to put shearing forces on their knees. So you're like, oh, he's skinny and he's my center. I want him to be bigger and stronger. And they're just making this kid do squats.
Yeah.
I promise you're going to do more harm than good. And I think that comes from the people teaching it rather than it being necessarily bad or good,
Yeah. I don't know, man. We had a trainer, and I got my ankles taped because it looked cool. I didn't get my ankles taped because I need it. You know what I mean? So it's just different times, man.
Do you know when I think trainers should help most? Pre-game.
Yeah. And that's the only time we saw a trainer.
Or pre-practice.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is that, like, I'm watching, I got to see so much of it, and I see it a lot with some of the college athletes that come in with the paints, not our paints, but like other, just mainly I saw it from, it was not a paints player, but either way, I'm watching them out there doing their stretches, and they're just doing ballistic stretches, and they're doing all this stuff, and I'm like, this is insane. Like, nobody's ever taught them how to properly warm up for a game. They could watch Friday Night Lights and think that's what they're supposed to do. And I'm like, is that a bad thing to do at practice? Like, I don't think so. But it's like, dude, when you're warming up from a game, you got to get your joints fluid. You got to get your spring in there.
Dude, one of my biggest pet peeves in basketball is watching warm-ups and, like, watching, like, the kids. Well, I don't even want to say kids. The players. Just, like, jogging up. Like, here we go. Gonna go back to the end of the line now. Here we go. And I'm like, dude, no, it's called a warm-up. If you are not warm, if you're not sweating.
Threes to warm up their jumper.
Yeah. It's like, hey.
Dude, you're not
do you know what a mid-range is? You are still allowed to shoot mid-range shots. I'm not going to get on that right now. But, yeah.
Chris Bosh.
One of my biggest pet peeves, man, is your warm-up is meant for you to warm up, to get hot, to get a sweat going. Because once you get that sweat going, you get the blood flowing, you get the juices flowing. Of anything, it calms it down. Especially in like a big game, big moment. You're like, all right, I'm loose, I'm ready to go. And you know who's going to need some of that advice? Is the Portsmouth girls, man. They have made it to the Final Four. Congratulations on Amy Hughes and the Portsmouth girls. Make it to the Final Four, and man, they had no questions on the way there. They were absolutely blowing out people, but here's the crazy thing. Now, I got this tweet from Sosa. Her first 4 seasons at Portsmouth, 27-50. Her last 2 seasons, 41-10. Portsmouth beat North Adams 42-25, 42-25 in a regional final to go to the state Final Four for the first time. And this is the greatest thing, because you guys know I'm a sucker for dad quotes. Dad. She said that the whole thing goes to her dad. This is a quote from Sosa's article. I don't know if it was Brock or Derek, so sorry. She said, he's the mastermind behind all of this. Scouting, player development, scheduling, our practices. He's taught me everything I know, and he's taught these girls so much. He's the reason we're going to the Final Four. I honest to God believe that. And that one thing of all is whenever a head coach takes the time to say, no, it's not just me. It's not just my players. I know it's your dad as assistant coach, but to say it's all of us while we're here. Man, I don't know.
There's a lot of logistics that go into these sports that nobody knows happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you talk about TJ. Part of the reason his success in Benton County was being able to somehow find a way to like get logistically down to be able to do workouts and stuff. And I'm not saying they have the same hurdles, but when you have somebody that's dedicated to it, like her dad probably is, I hope my kid at some point in his life gives me the same praise for anything.
It like to see it work out. to see it be like, hey, you
To
did.
see it have the glam up of the century? Let me flip-flop those records for you, young
Yeah,
blood.
literally, it goes to the Final Four. That's insane. Now, when they go to the Final Four, they play Ottawa, Glandorf. That'll be this weekend. I did some really good reporting.
You said
And
Gandalf?
maybe, yeah, I put an L on accident.
Autobahn Gandalf?
I think so. Ottawa, Glandorf.
I hate him.
Yeah, they're the worst, honestly. Go
Yeah.
Trojans.
Crap.
But yeah, they're going to Final Four for the first time. And honestly, what I was seeing or hearing was that they're like, man, it looked like the players almost like knew what to run before the coach even had to say it. You know what I mean? And I'm glad a lot of people stood up and said, that's good coaching. When you're coaching your players so well that they know the offense so well, they know when to run an offense without you even have to say it, that means that they've busted their asses in practice and you've done your job. So congratulations to the Trojans, and best of luck to you. We hope that you're bringing home that championship. So, Tony, I think it's time to get to our biggest segment of the day. This was a big day in the NFL, buddy. Big day in the NFL. Tony Pollard, he went to the Titans. I thought that was big news. It was not. Kirk Cousins to the Falcons? Kirk Cousins to the Falcons? That has to shape up the Falcons a lot. That shapes up the NFC South.
Talk through them and I'll jump back in, okay?
Okay.
Talk through them a bit. I've got plenty of opinions on all this, so if I repeat anything, but I'm going to get him set up real quick.
Okay. Saquon Barkley. Can't wait to hear your opinion on this. He gets signed to the Eagles. I think that completely changes that backfield. Josh Jacobs, he signs with the Packers with Aaron Jones leaving the Packers. I am interested to see how that works out. I feel like they didn't upgrade. I don't think they downgraded. I think they just got another really good back that's going to do for them what that Aaron Jones has been doing, so I'm interested to see how that goes. The Eagles got Saquon because Swift left, went to the Bears. Interested to see how that works out. Is he going there because
Swift
they're saying,
is
hey?
underrated to me. I don't understand why nobody loves this guy.
Does he go there, though, because they're saying, hey,
are insane.
We're drafting Caleb Williams? And he's like, I want to be a part of Caleb Williams. And then Higgins, he requested a trade. Send him up north because we just got Jerry Jeudy and we just signed Smith back. I think we should get Higgins with it.
Dude, this is what I'm saying. The Bengals missed a shot here. They should have traded T. Higgins for a second or third round draft pick and traded a fourth or fifth for Jerry Jeudy all day.
Yeah.
And they would have had an upgrade and got draft cap.
Two more. Wilson goes to the Steelers. Don't think it matters. Mayfield, the new $100 million man with the Bucks. All right, I ran through all of them. I want to get your thoughts, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, Saquon, I obviously absolutely love. He's got to stay healthy. I know what that comes with. But he went to Penn State. He's a Pennsylvania kid. We all wanted him in the first place. We all wished we had him anyways. So makes me super pumped for that. It's not really an up or downgrade from Swift, nothing against him. But if we knew we were already talking to Saquon, that's probably why he left.
Yeah.
And then
I think if he stays healthy, it's an upgrade. But I feel like the fact that he can't stay healthy is why it's pretty neutral with Swift.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a stable behind him, but we just didn't have a good one. We have Boston Scott. He's going on year 7. He's just a good pass
Boston
catcher.
Scott is the new Darren Sproles.
I love him.
He is the Darren Sproles role there.
So we're good on that. So even if there is an injury, I feel like we're kind of prepared for it. You don't want to give that money up for an injured player, and then we got this guy Huff from the Jets as well, which I wasn't too hip with him, but he's the highest paid undrafted free agent non-QB of all time.
Oh wow! I'm glad that the Browns got Smith back on the other side of Garrett. I don't know why I was thinking Clowney.
You gotta seeing dudes re-signing.
Yeah.
Is Darius Smith and stuff, I don't know, it just means the Browns culture is kind of
Hold on, so I want your thoughts on this. The quarterback room for the NFC South is now Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, Bryce Young, and Derek Carr. That was a weird way for me to do that. Do you think the Falcons upgraded today as a team? Do you think they have a shot to win that division, or do you think Mayfield and the Bucks? I think Mayfield and the Bucks, man, they're in stride and they're looking good. So I don't know. All right, hey, perfect person to be here for this, the one and only Adam B-Dubs!
Woo! Had to find an old lady to get here, Clay.
An old lady?
Yeah, no, I was just kidding.
Oh, I was going to say, did you put it down in Chinatown? Adam, we are talking about as Andy gets you. Are you want to come over here and sit with me, buddy? Oh, no, you're on TV now. All right.
I don't know what
Adam,
that one.
Another clap. So we're talking about Kirk Cousins. He leaves your favorite team, goes to the Falcons. What are your thoughts on that?
Finally get Kyle Pitts somebody to throw him the ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you kind of like it because of Florida guy.
Florida guy kind of just started my Madden franchise, took the Atlanta Falcons down to Mexico City. We're the Desperados now.
Desperado.
No, really, I was torn because up until this point, I've always been double-edged sword with Kirk because he's always really consistent stat-wise, but he's not somebody that'll get the ball deep down the field. Like I was just telling somebody today, Ryan at T-Mobile.
Shout out Ryan.
If Kirk Cousins was there for the Minneapolis Miracle,
I'm sorry.
it just would not have went down that way.
Oh, man, I wasn't ready for that.
They miss you, by the way. But, yeah, so up until this year, like after watching that Netflix documentary, I was like, you know what? Kirk deserves to go somewhere and win.
Yeah.
And Minnesota ain't going to get him a championship. He needs to go somewhere to be able to compete. Get him out because I love him.
Now, one more that we'll circle back to for you real quick. Saquon goes to the Eagles.
That was mind blowing.
Wasn't ready for that. Tony, did you have a feeling that was coming? Was there anything coming out of Eagles media saying that was happening?
What, Saquon?
Yeah.
So I heard that we were doing two things. We wanted him. And if we didn't get him, we were. You want to go see the bunny? Okay.
He's
I'm
not
gonna
happy
tune out
about
after this
Saquon.
and call back later. But before that happens, they were saying that we were trying to drive the price up. Yeah, you're pumped. But and then there's the corner Xavier McKinney. So be looking for us to sign him as well.
Well, I'll be looking for you to sign this bunny once you go catch him with your son.
He's so pumped. All right, I'll call back for trivia.
Later.
Peace.
But yes, okay, so Saquon going to the Eagles, did not see that coming at all whatsoever. Tony thinks...
Yeah, I was in the middle of training, stopped what I was doing, interrupted my manager's sale. Was
What?
Like, you see Saquon just went to the Eagles?
Your manager, Sam.
No, my manager's sale.
Oh. Yeah. Anyways, so...
Yeah, crazy.
I don't know why he said this. I want to ask him more. Tony said that Saquon is about the same as Swift. And I said, I'll give you that Saquon gets hurt a lot. So, like...
See, for me, that's the trade-off. Saquon, he's a physical specimen. Just like if you compare the two, like just standing side by side, you'll probably pick
Saquon 10 times out of 10.
Me personally, I would rather have Swift.
I like Swift.
I really like Swift.
I don't like Swifties.
I liked him when he was at Detroit. I liked him when
he was Taylor.
Yeah. No, but I liked him when he was with the Eagles. But I hate that he had to go to the Bears.
Yeah.
Because bear down.
So I was telling Tony this. Do you think he went to the Bears because the Bears went to him and said, we're getting Caleb Williams? And he goes, want to play with that guy? Or do you think that they didn't tell him anything and he just said the Bears are the only one that want
Now, that was a free agent signing, right? Because I was just kind of loosely looking at it.
From what I saw, yes.
Yeah.
If that's different, put it in the comments.
Well, it could be a couple of things. It could be that chance to
Trade.
go back and, hey, let me go to Chicago because I know they play Detroit twice a year in the same conference. We're going to be king of the North.
Yeah.
You know, just a little FU to
They're
the team
not,
that
but
traded.
yeah.
I know. It's Vikings all the way, baby.
I know.
I'm not wearing the Vikings, but it could be something as simple as that, or it could just, like you said.
How do you feel like about the Vikings? You guys got to draft a quarterback, or you're just going to wait maybe? Who's your backups, do you know?
Dude, it's always nobody.
Yeah.
Like, there was I can't – what was his name? Christian Ponder. We rocked with Christian Ponder for like
too long.
2 years. We had Case Keenum, which Minneapolis Miracle helped us out, but after that he left and Denver picked him up.
You have the 11th
nothing.
overall pick.
So
I think you not signing Kirk Cousins means you guys are drafting a quarterback or trading up to get one.
Now, the trade up I do not like. We do amazing with our mid-level picks. I mean, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, a guy by the name of Randy Moss went 28th.
Never heard of that guy.
Yeah, went 28th later in the draft. So if we get an early pick, we fumble it up, we mess it up, they don't do it.
So who do you think I'm not saying who do you want. I'm saying, who do you think quarterback is left there at 11 sitting for you guys? I'll say I don't. Obviously, you're not getting Caleb Williams.
No, if I'm being completely honest, the one I want McCarthy.
Really?
I think JJ.
He'll be there.
I think JJ would be a good.
Did he say he had a pretty good meeting with the Vikings?
Yeah. So if we don't get him at 11 and we can get him later, do that 100% because I think people are going to sleep on him.
I was going to say, do you think that you don't? Because I don't know when your next pick is. I think it's the second round. I don't think you have 2 first rounds.
I do not believe that.
So if you're 11th in the first round and let's just say you have your second round pick, you're probably picking 11th in the second latest. So, yeah, I mean,
see, I would almost want the Vikings to trade back to see if they could possibly
maybe get him at the 15th or 16th.
Get him later on, and then maybe get us, trade their first, get a first back, and maybe like a third or something like that, or a fourth, and try to build a couple of the.
I think if you do that and you get the third or the fourth, you got to get this year because this year's the class you want to do that, and next year's class.
Well,
normally you hear about next year's class by now, and I haven't heard a peep.
Next year's class, the biggest problem, there's no QB. So, like, if you're going to be going after wide receivers, linemen, we can wait. I mean, I hate to say we can wait on linemen because our line usually is not the best.
You can definitely wait on wide receivers.
Yeah, we can wait on wide receivers.
And I don't think Jefferson's going anywhere. I was saying I was happy about Smith coming back. We got Judy. Send Higgins up north, Cincinnati. You don't want him anymore. Was there any other signings that you saw that was kind of big? I thought Tony Pollard to the Vikings was kind of big with Henry going out. I don't know where not Vikings, sorry, the Titans. I don't know where Derrick Henry's going to end up. We'll take him in Cleveland on discount. I mean, could you imagine Chubb and Henry in that backfield?
I will say this. I think that would be not the best for fantasy owners.
Oh, yeah, fantasy-wise, stay away from both of them.
I think it would also kind of hurt them obviously it would hurt the individual performance because they'd have to share.
I don't know what Chubb's going to be like after a third catastrophic knee injury. But in Chubb, I believe. So I'm just going to say he's going to be amazing. But
can we talk about how the first time Russell Wilson sings some gospel music in that locker room, George Pickens is going to come over, tell him to skedaddle?
So, okay. Everybody's like, Russell Wilson to the Steelers. I'm like, who cares, dude? Like, he's.
As soon as he lands, Mike Tomlin's going to be like, hey, cut that weird shit out. Yeah. Okay? Cut that out right now. This ain't the place for that cornball shit.
Dude, that's what I think this year, like, everybody thought it was a hilarious catastrophe in Denver.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh, the Steelers. Like, dude.
Let me tell you, Mike Tomlin ain't Sean Payton.
No. He ain't will let a naysayer know, dude.
He's not going to quietly be like, hey, we're not going to play you for the last 6 days. He's going to come out to the meeting and be like, he's trash.
Get him out.
He ain't playing.
We signed him for $1.2 million. I would have signed him for $1.2. Oh, man. So, yeah, I don't think Russell Wilson changes anything. Honestly, I bet we see Kenny Pickett playing by middle of the year.
I think he changes something. He changes a lot of Steeler fans into other fans of other teams. That's the only thing that's going to happen.
How was the Russell Wilson area? Man, did he change that franchise? He changed it for the worst, though. Yeah, I don't see any other ones that. Oh, what'd you think about Mayfield? $100 million for the Bucs.
$100 million for Mayfield. I think Mayfield did some great things. $100 million? No, thank you. No way.
I thought 80 should have been his cap.
For how many years? The next 80? Is he also coaching for him too? Give that man $10 million over 4 years. Did they win a playoff game this year? Because they won their wild card, right?
Yeah, they upset somebody.
You know what? $20 million. Give them $20 million for that. But 100, take $80 million off of that contract, maybe.
I think $80 million. $80 million for what? 80 years?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap up. Let's talk about the NFL because, I've been in a lot of NFL negotiating contracts. And when I was in them, they were intense. A lot of millions and billions being thrown around in my face, and I had to say no to some. Yes. So, I know what it's like. Don't you, Adam? We were there.
One thing for sure, I knew that the Bears were giving up Judy for next to nothing.
I knew that Jerry Judy was out there for a bag of chips and possibly a big gulp. So, all right, we're going to go into our next segment Oh, and let me. We're gonna be real professional. I'm gonna call Tony and let him know that we're doing the trivia. Oh wait, I already gave away the name of the segment.
Andy, you got any of those Nutter Butters left over there, bud? Oh. Keys.
This is awesome.
Hola.
It's trivia time.
Okay.
Bye bye. He probably thinks that we were not live there. We definitely were. Is there any other trades or signings that we didn't talk about?
We talked about the Pollard, Swift, Huggins requesting a trade, Jerry Jeudy, Wilson, Mayfield. That's the only thing we had listed here.
I'm gonna get into the Score app. Hashtag not sponsored yet.
Austin Eckler plans. This was 24 minutes ago. Austin Eckler plans to sign a 2-year deal with the Commanders, per Adam Schefter.
Whoa, that's big time. Yeah, the guy from the Panthers. Yeah.
Also,
he got a 5-year, $150 million deal from it.
How about Tua? Or not? Wait, was it Tua? No. How about Tyreek Hill impregnating 3 women while the Panthers only won 2 games?
What an offseason.
I know, crazy, right?
Dude, hold on. That might be the signing of the offseason right there. It's like, yeah. Tyreek Hill impregnated more girls than you won.
Could you imagine
games.
21 years from now when we got 3 Hills running around just lightning speed all over the football
What if
field?
they run in? Oh, my God. What if they all line up in a triangle formation and run to the center and then form into one Tyreek Hill? Oh, maybe that is. Yeah, so that's how we just get Tyreek Hill again. We figured it out. Tony, you back? Tony's back. Oh, savior of the Bunnyverse. Dun, 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 dun. All right, Tony, it's time for our new segment. I think it's going to be a fun segment that we'll keep going. It is Trivia Time. We're going to think of a better name for this, but for today, it's called Trivia Time. Andy is going to ask us 3 different trivia questions, give us 4 different answers, and we're going to see who answers the most right. Andy, you ready? Sure. Yeah.
Do we all get the same questions, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
How we do these answers, though?
you want to go first?
Well, I don't know
3
how to do
questions, 3 answers. We'll each answer
Yeah,
one
we all
first.
have our own answer. We're all competing against each other. See who gets the most right.
this. Okay, so are we just blurting these things out, or are we like buzzing
Yeah.
in, or
And then Andy would tell us which one's right.
okay?
Yeah, it's multiple choice.
Oh,
Yeah. Andy?
Who actually drew the sketch of Rose in Titanic? A. Leonardo DiCaprio. B. Billy Zane. C. James Cameron. D. Kathy Bates. Adam.
what was the B? What was the B answer?
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. He was the bad guy from Titanic, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Kathy Bates.
Okay. Who we doing?
I guess I'll go with the obviously wrong answer, but I'm going to go with it anyways. Wait, so is he saying Leonardo DiCaprio as in?
Yes. So
Going B. Billy Zane.
no, I'm going D.
Okay.
Kathy Bates. No, he's saying like the actor that one of those 4 actors drew.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Leo. I've never watched the movie.
No, I can.
No, we can hear you. Yep. I just didn't understand if it was. Yeah. Tony, which one you got?
Just rip me the question without the multiple choices. I couldn't hear him talking.
Okay. Go get Andy.
Who actually drew the sketch of Rose in Titanic?
Nah,
Who drew the sketch of Rose in Titanic? Leonardo DiCaprio, Billy Zane, James Cameron, or Kathy Bates?
James Cameron.
And the answer?
James Cameron.
All right. I suck.
He was the director. So
He was the director, right?
Yeah, he was the director. I was thinking.
Oh.
My favorite
I was thinking
thing
in
about
the
that,
movie somebody else drew it.
No, my favorite thing about that was James Cameron took somebody else down, like because he was like doing routine sub dives to the Titanic.
Yeah.
He was on the deck of the Titanic having lunch with somebody. him and that person come up. They surface. Everybody on the boat's freaking out, crying. He's like, "What happened?" They were like, "9/11 just happened." So he was on the Titanic when 9/11 happened. He's the only person in the world. There's only 2 people that can say that: James Cameron and the actor that he took down there.
That's insane.
Only 2 people would be on
Talk
the Titanic.
about a bad,
9/11.
bad day.
Yeah.
All right, which he just won an award at a like huge film festival that I should know the name of. Andy,
Shout
next
JT.
question. So Tony and Adam are tied at 1. I have none.
I did not know all that. I cannot
Yeah, I
take
said
credit.
Kenny.
I just
Oh,
thought he
so
would win
Tony's
for
in
a
the lead
little
with
Easter
1.
egg.
Yeah, I said B.
Okay,
Yeah, I said D.
all right. So Tony, you're winning with 1. Andy, your turn. Please read.
Only one NFL team has their logo on one side of their helmet and not on the other side. What team is this? I don't know. Adam?
Yeah, we'll go Adam again. Adam.
Do we have A, B, C, D?
This is no ABCD.
You have.
It's the Steelers.
And it's which team has a logo? Is it college football? Or
No,
it's a logo on
NFL.
the
Which
side?
team only has one logo on the logo on one side?
I'm putting the Steelers.
That's a good guess. Here's my. No, the Bengals don't count because they don't have a logo.
So yeah, the Browns also do not have a logo.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, I was like trick. Yeah, dude. I feel like the Steelers has to be the right answer there, but I'm trying to brainstorm.
I'll go Giants.
Yeah,
I don't know. I really don't
I'm
know.
gonna
and I don't
piggyback
think
on the
that's right.
Steelers. I think it's the Steelers.
Hold on.
All
Give me
right,
one more
thank you. All
Steelers?
right, Steelers.
All right.
All right, so we're all tied at 1. Oh, all right.
Can I have 1.5 since Clay piggybacked?
No. All right, Andy. Final question.
The National Sports Act of Canada granted 2 different sports as its official sports of Canada. One is hockey. What is the other?
It's got to be something stupid.
I already got it.
Andy, can you give us an A, B, C, D? Even if there's not one, just make it up.
All right.
Hold on.
Wait. Andy, let me give him 4 and 6. Oh, man. Okay.
What's your answer? No. Fuck it. What's your
Curling.
answer, Tony? What's your answer?
Curling.
Okay.
Curling.
So I was originally do that. I'm gonna switch it. Badminton.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm gonna
Maybe
go.
ping pong.
I picked this because I knew it would be this.
I'm gonna go with.
You want to go in the swing?
No, I'm gonna go with bobsledding.
It's lacrosse.
What the hell, Canada?
Yeah. I was gonna be like, what are the odds that it's field hockey?
Yeah.
Like, what are the odds that it's field hockey?
What-
Lacrosse is pretty similar to
Yeah.
field
What is
hockey.
it?
It was lacrosse. Yeah. So
I'll do a tie.
Ew.
you got
They
one.
would.
All right. Tiebreaker.
So everybody in Canada is a rich and douchey. Okay.
Heard.
Must be the French side.
It's hockey, and then it's hockey. What? Come on, Canada. Minnesota didn't even do that. They're basically the Canada of the United States. Man, DePaul's catching strays today. Oh, yeah, we just had like 10 minutes. We just shit on DePaul. You kind of, I don't know. This guy came out of nowhere. We kept talking about how terrible they were. I mean, they won 3
Did
games.
you
How
guys
are they
see the
still in the
curling
Division
team
1?
from the United States that won gold? Did you guys see the United States team? And it beat like Canada to win gold. Did you see our team? The gnarliest mustaches, straight beer guts, like not supposed
Obviously
to win at
won.
all. I literally love it.
You got another one, Andy? All right.
If you had tickets to Game 5 of the NBA Finals on June 11th, 1997, you would witness Michael Jordan's iconic flu game in what city?
Oh,
Utah
Salt Lake
Jazz.
City.
That's
his
my
answer. That's his answer.
Yeah, no, I lost. I just said that the Utah Jazz are a city. So,
That's my birthday.
nuh-uh.
Not that year, but
Oh,
June 11th is.
what's your answer?
Huh?
What's your answer?
Salt
Did
Lake
you
City. I thought you guys already said it.
Is that the winner? Okay, I'll give you guys.
It's me and Tone.
All right, hold on. I got one for you. I got one for you.
More. I got more.
You got one? Throw it to him. See who wins.
Hosting football, hockey, and baseball respectively in a non-coastal U.S. city, you would find Nissan Stadium, Bridgestone Arena, and Hawkins Field. Where would you go?
Bridgestone what?
Bridgestone
Columbus.
You said it was coast, right?
Non-coastal.
Non-coastal.
Nissan Stadium. Nissan Stadium. That's a football stadium. It's college, I think. No.
I'm shot in the dark here.
Arizona.
That was literally my first
Yeah.
guess.
I'm going with
And then Columbus.
I'm with Vegas. I'm just gonna throw it out there. What is it?
What are you going with, Tom? Throw like 4 answers out.
Huh?
Columbus, Arizona.
Where are you going, Tone? What state?
I can't hear him talk like at all. Like I have to like hold the phone up super
It's a
close.
city, by the way.
Oh, it's a city. Oh, it's a city.
These 3 arenas are in the same city. The only city.
All right.
Columbus. I'm going. Well, I'll take Columbus. I don't know.
All right, Tony says
What is it?
Columbus.
Does it have to be pro?
The only city
Yeah.
hosting football, hockey, and baseball, yes, pro, that's non-coastal.
Okay.
That's Nissan
Football?
Stadium, Bridgestone Arena, and Hawkins Field.
I'm gonna have to say Phoenix.
Pittsburgh.
You're going Pittsburgh. Clay?
Trevor said my balls. That's my answer.
All right.
His bag.
Nashville.
Nashville.
All right, we're gonna call
Bridgestone
this
made
one.
me think made me think Tennessee, but I
We'll
was
call
like,
this one a tie.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll call this one a tie, and we'll give you guys both a win.
Is Bridgestone? Is that the Titans?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I was
Oh,
like,
oh,
I
hold
don't
on.
think it's.
All right, I got one off the top of my head that I know one of these guys will have the answer to.
I figured that you would go Michael Jordan.
What game series did the Pistons beat the Lakers to stop their three-peat with Kobe and Shaq? In how many
Five.
games?
Five.
It was 5.
Okay, I thought it was 4-2.
Yep.
Was it 4-1?
I don't know. Let me look it
That
up.
has to be 4-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I was thinking it was 4-2, but I think that was.
Pistons versus Lakers.
And why do I feel like it was game 1?
Finals. 2004 NBA Finals. 4-1 in 5.
4-1. Okay.
All right, so Tony wins.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. All right. Now, winner, chicken dinner.
We got Capri Suns to crack open when we back out in the crib.
Oh, yeah. All righty. You guys want to go to our draft and close this out?
Yeah.
All right, so we want to go 4?
Yeah. Are we
Okay.
doing spots?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are, I think it goes Tony, you, me, right? I really can't remember.
I think I might be last this time.
All my notes got deleted, so then it should be Tony, me, you.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we are drafting best vacation spots. Best vacation spots. Tony, you are first up. What's your top vacation spot?
I'm going Santorini, Greece.
Nice.
It's like that. They got those like the white buildings with the blue tops, like you see those pictures sometimes. But it's like an island. But when like the tickets to get there are expensive, but when you get there, since it's an island, like it's super cheap. It's unreal. Like you get the best food in the world, and it's like cheaper than Olive Garden.
Okay. Well, I am going to go pretty far away from where you just said. I'm just picking Australia. Don't really care where I'm at. Just want to be there. So
You know, it's fun fact about Australia.
they can kill me.
It's got the longest beach in the world.
Really?
I believe so. Yes, because I'm pretty sure it's literally all one beach.
Infinity.
Oh yeah, true. It's basically like an island.
Well, yeah, but I was talking
yeah.
like just the outskirts. It's like I think that like the actual longest one particular beach in is like 26 miles or something like that, or 20 some miles. I could
Alrighty.
be completely wrong and just out of base. I'm sorry if I am.
Adam, you got 2 back to back.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Bali for the same reason Tony said. Expensive to get there, but if you have like $1,000, you're like the richest guy
Yeah.
in that whole country, U.S.
Yeah.
And then second, I'm going with Rome, Italy.
Oh, that's a good one. You actually took one off my list. So
Yeah.
the game within the
A
game.
little bit of a relaxation with Bali and like more like the historical. I want to see some stuff and learn
Yeah.
kind of aspect of the Rome.
So this one I don't really know how like where this would be, so I'm just going to describe it. I want to go to England, but I want to go to like all the places that are like medieval type, kind of big back in the English, like the kingdom before the Revolutionary War, like that whole time period. Like, I want to go to that part of England and learn about that kind of history.
I'm not going to say this part because this is my next, like literally my next.
Okay. Tony, you got 2 picks back to back.
Bloody hell, mate, I ought to give you a bashing. Is that good?
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
That was good. Okay. I want to go to Switzerland. I don't know like a lot of the
Nice.
places there, but you always see those dope pictures of the waterfalls and the small cabins on the side of the cliffs. It's nice.
Okay. Now you got another pick.
Like I feel like I just always want to say like my hometown, but I'm trying to do vacation spots. But
Yeah.
technically my hometown's a vacation now. But I feel like I want to go. Let's go to Berlin. I want to go to somewhere in Germany just because I feel like I got to.
Okay. Berlin. Honestly, that was not anywhere near my list. I'm
thinking I want you could do an Oktoberfest trip.
Yeah.
You know, like a
Berlin's
real one.
solid. You got the historical aspect because you could go to a couple of those different places. If you wanted to get sad, you could go on like a Auschwitz tour and learn about the history of what the German people did, even though they're going to try to act like it didn't happen.
Okay, I'm going to go with this one because I don't know if out of Adam's next 2 it makes it back to me. So we're about to find out. Cancun.
Yeah, I would have made it back to you.
It wouldn't have?
It would have.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go with Cancun just because I like to party. I like my party to party. So I'm going to go with Cancun. Never been there. Heard it's amazing.
Panama City Beach, bitches.
And then, Adam, you got 2 to round it out.
So I'm going to Caldwell Castle in Scotland because many a year ago, many a generations of coddles ago, there was coddles in there. There could still be people that I'm related to, like long distance, that are technically Thanes, but I had family that was Thanes in that castle. They weren't necessarily royalty. Ship crash landed, and they were like, you guys aren't peasants, so, I mean, you're not going to be royalty, but, you know, we'll make you Thanes.
Yeah,
so,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then last one, Maui, baby.
Maui, baby.
Yeah, that Maui Invitational, watch some basketball.
Oh, damn. That's so much better than Cancun. I knew you were going to pick a beach.
As soon as you said Cancun, I was like, thank God it wasn't Maui.
I hate you. Oh, my God. Okay, going back to me, it's kind of for the same reason you picked the castle. I'm going to Ireland because my dad found out that that's actually where we are from because my last name, fun fact, should not be Archer. I feel like that's a story for another day. But we are from Ireland. Makes a lot of questions in my life have answers. So I'm going to go with Ireland to round out my team. Tony, where are you going for your 4th one?
Surprised you ain't Jamaican.
Let's all go back to our homelands, and I'll go to Calabria, Italy.
All right, Calabria, Italy.
Hey, maybe we could plan it up. Meet somewhere between there and Rome.
All righty, so we got Tony going to Santorini, Greece, Switzerland, Berlin, Calabria, Italy. I'm going to go to Australia, England, Cancun, and Ireland. And
Italy.
Huh? Oh, Italy.
Nothing.
Sorry. You got to Italy?
He said nothing.
You got to Italy. And then we got Adam. He's going to Bali. He's going to Rome, Italy. And he's going to Caldwell Castle. And he's going to Maui. Damn, the Maui really rounds yours out when you put the college basketball.
I like Tony's list a lot too. Greece,
Yeah.
Italy. I
like my list too, guys. I think it's pretty okay. All right, well,
I'm just glad nobody picked anywhere really in the United States.
Yeah, I almost thought about Colorado, then I was like, that has to be better mountains than that. Well, we're going to get out of here before my entire face fades off the screen. Adam, anything that you wanted to throw in today? Now, you had to literally fix your tire to be here.
Shout out Circleville AutoZone right there off of 23. Just walked in. They said, you know what? We'll open one of these jack boxes, give you a jack real quick, let you use it. If you steal it, I'm not walking after you. I took it back, so I don't have a free jack. But shout out Circleville AutoZone.
Shout out Circleville people, man. Tony, any last words? Our champion of today's trivia.
Go DePaul.
Go DePaul. Yes. Go DePaul. We like you, not as much as Xavier, obviously. But ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our show. Thank you again for coming and tuning in to us. We want to give, before we get out of here, our deepest condolences to Caden McWhorter's family. 19-year-old that tragically died in a car accident from Adina in the Frankfurt area. I've lived through this in my life. When I was in 8th grade, I know how terrible it can impact the community. But I also know, man, that this is the time. This is the time that it is amazing to come from where we come from, because this community is going to rally behind this family. Obviously, we can never ever replace what they've lost, but man, this is just a sign that you need to always tell your loved ones that you love them, hold them tight, and be a friend. Tell a friend that you're there for them. And like I said, our hearts and our prayers are going out to that family, and we wish them the best of luck down this road that they're going on here. So on that note, we love you guys. We thank you for tuning in every single week to this absolute madhouse of a show. Thank you again for coming out Saturday. And man, that was fun, but that was special. We raised a lot of money for a really, really good cause. Thank you again to all the bands for coming out, everybody that came out and donated. It was a really awesome thing to do. And we look forward to doing something like that again soon, guys. So peace out, Girl Scouts.
Stay safe.